Alright. Let's go, guys. We've got Solar in the bottom left side of the map up against Gumiho in the top right. This is from the ESL Summer, where we saw Gumiho really come into his own and show that he can dance with the big dogs. He's an absolute monster. He's teamless right now, unfortunately. And he's going to be doing a gas first. Okay, this is not the standard 2 barracks build because that's a barracks gas. This is going to be a tech-heavy opening for him. As always, throwing out very weird builds. The problem for Gumiho, of course, is he's up against Solar, and Solar has a 70% plus win rate versus Gumiho. He slaps his mech down like it's nothing. I actually attribute Solar with why Gumiho doesn't play much mech anymore versus Zerg. He very rarely mixes it in, and I think it's because Solar became such an expert at just killing his mech before he got started. Lots of Nidus Worms, lots of Queen Roach drops, lots of just big surprising all-ins, and Solar's just a scary player in general in this matchup because he is a defensive master who, if he thinks you're being a bit cheeky, can explode across that map and ruin your day. Gumiho right now going up. Now you're going to notice with this build order with the gas first, the barracks is delayed a few seconds. So what's going to happen is normally... Actually, wait a second. Normally, your command center has to wait for a few more seconds before making the orbital. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe he was just a little late on one of his SCVs because it's the same supply as normal. But I think maybe Gumiho's build order just looked a little weird. But normally, you've got to wait a couple extra seconds for that barracks to finish. For him, it was only 1 or 2 seconds. Very tight execution so far. And notice you can go factory before anything else. So it's Reaper, factory, then a reactor. Because you got the wall off, you can skip on the Marine. You don't need anything else out. And it allows you to just have a very clean move forwards in the game. He's even going to go second gas before second depot, because if you're not building anything out of the barracks, you're only building SCVs. You don't need that depot nearly as early, but you can just start it now here at about 2 minutes 13. Really clean build order for him. Solar does take a third base on 27, 28 supply. Standard clash build for Solar. Ooh, here we go. Reaper comes down. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Nice move. The Reaper does manage to get one of those Zerglings. The Zerglings otherwise dancing backwards. Good micro for Gumiho so far. And that factory swapping over is the real danger. Ling speed is only just starting. And that takes 80 seconds to upgrade, guys. And guess what? You've already got Hellions building. They only take 20 seconds to build. They will be over here and be able to dive in very early on. Now, does Solar know this? No, he has no clue. Now, he might realize the Reaper was a little late. Maybe that gives it away. Definitely, I think with a guy like Gumiho, he's much more prone to playing gas-first tech-heavy builds. He's also building more Reapers. Ooh-wee! Oh my god, we're seeing the special build. So not only is it non-stop Hellions, really early off a factory that's about 15 seconds faster than normal, and he's also building a second Reaper. I'd like to see a third Reaper as well, and just go ham and try to basically kill the Queens overwhelm. Yes, he's doing it! A third Reaper on the way. This is old school, baby. It's a massive commitment. I mean, the follow-up for Gumiho kind of sucks. He needs to get some damage here, but so far it's looking pretty good. Second Reaper's about to arrive, as are some Hellions. Creepers spreading. The Queens are here. Solar needs to bring every Queen to the front. He has so far, but he doesn't have transfuses yet. And those grenades and the slight range advantage. 6 range on the Hellions versus, of course, 5 range on the Queens. Can get nasty. He actually lures the Queens out, and then he just runs past. Ooh, Gumiho, he lures all the Queens to the front. He's like, lol, just kidding, bro. And he does get 4 drones so far. A couple of Zerglings going down. One of the Hellions falls, but he's still got enough units to one-shot. Those 3 Hellions doing one-shot splash damage very nicely. The drone's trying to get away. Link speed is here, though. It looks like Solar's going to defend. He's taking a fair bit of damage, but remember, this is hugely committed for Gumiho. If he can get the Reapers out, maybe it's okay. He's going to get one more Zergling, but he loses the Reaper for that. Queens and Lings on the other side as well. He's going to lose all the Reapers. Oh no! His Hellions do drive in on the front as well. Can't afford to get these surrounded on creep. He's going to pull back. 35 SCVs versus 34 drones. You look at that and you go, well, of course it was worth it, Pig. He's equal in workers with the Zerg. That's terrible for Zerg. But remember, there's no third command center. You can see he wants to build it desperately. He realizes he wants it. He's also supply blocked right now on 54. What's cute about this build is because Gumiho is so aggressive, he plans to throw his Hellions and Reapers away. And that means he doesn't need more depots. Problem is it is actually interrupting his SCV production right now. So he needs to keep diving and throwing units away so that he can skip depots and get away with this. This is a very well ironed out build where Gumiho has planned to hit very slight supply blocks and then throw away Hellions for drones, and that allows him to keep building SCVs. This is a beautiful build order for Gumiho. He gets another 6 workers. He's killed 13 workers. Units lost tab is dead even. Doesn't look that great, but Solar's only on 34 workers. Solar has 7 queens out, but they struggle to deal with the mobility of those Hellions. And he's also built spores super early that I guess wasn't really required. First Banshee's out on the map. Second Banshee's going to be coming. Cloak is finished. And there we go. Third command center into 4 more barracks. Double engineering bay, double gas. What I love about Gumiho's macro is he often does things the way I do it when I'm basically messing up my macro, where I'm like, oh crap, I'm floating a lot of minerals, and I go home and build 4 barracks, 2 e-bays, 2 gases all at once, and I'm like, I don't know if this is optimal, I'm pretty sure it's not, but he's so busy being in his opponent's face and kind of just throwing the kitchen sink at them that it works out okay. He's been even or ahead on workers for most of this game. He's got now Cloaked Banshees coming in. We'll see if they can find any damage. I do feel there's 3 spores, so he doesn't have that much of a window, but the lair is not done for another 20 seconds or so. Can dance in between these mineral lines, grab some of these transferring drones. 1 drone goes down. He does get another drone on the minerals there. Oh, Solar's got to be careful. He's got to fix these transferring drones. You got to pull the drones away from the Banshees. You know they've got a limited time inside your main base. There we go. That's a bit better from Solar. Still loses the drone that got left behind inside the gas geyser though. And he's going to dance in between. Careful. Those queens are going to get in range. He's just going to set up in between the bases. But seeing an Overseer morphing, Gumiho does have to get out of there. And overall... Oh, no. Okay, went a little bit too close to the sun. Both of his Banshees heavily damaged. Has to get out of there, but he got some worker kills. Kept Solar busy. Solar's 4th base is now on the way. Double Evo chamber starts along with Baneling speed. That 1-1 is already over a minute complete. Gumiho has a massive upgrade advantage. And with 5 barracks now pumping on reactors, tanks and medevacs building, armory on the way, Gumiho looks very well set up for the next stage of this game. Banshee's going to move to the right. They're going to both defend run-bys while getting repaired back up. Unfortunately, no flying unit means this pillar does allow to spot everything. The medevac's still not realizing that it's there. So that's giving... Okay, good move by Gumiho to realize. He's like, wait a second, I never killed the Overlord. Where is that Overlord? Does go back, cleans it up. Really important. You don't want to give Solar that free information. If he knows where you're coming from, he can prepare for it. His creep spread is actually looking very nice as well. Solar's now on 70 workers. His 1-1 upgrade's trying to catch up, but they are so very behind. Armory finishes. I do want to see Gumiho start +2 attack before this push starts, because you really want to maintain that upgrade advantage. You don't want to forget about that. But because he's pushing now, he very well may get distracted. Oh, he's going to go for a tank push. Oh, I like that. Tank on the high ground. Oh, no, he decides a bit too much surface area there. Changes his mind. Interesting. He's going to put that tank on the high ground. Okay. This is a pretty good setup by Gumiho. Solar's going to try to flank it or maybe do a bit of a backstab. Banshees are moving out. Gumiho needs to go home with those Banshees. The wall is not sealed. Uh-oh. That's going to be a couple of SCVs going down for free. Nice move by Solar. The Marines on the front for Gumiho trying to bait him into a bad engagement. Let's see what he can make happen here. A few Zerglings already going down. A few Marines on the high ground. A Hellbat guarding that siege tank on the low ground. The Spore Crawler does fall. Lingbane's trying to wrap around, but the Banshees are there. If Gumiho micros those, yeah, you can start picking off those Banelings. And once your Lingbane backstab or flank has been spotted, it becomes so much harder to pull off. Oh my god, Gumiho's going to get the hatchery. He manages to take out the 4th base. Picks up, pulls back. Solar taking big hits in this game. 73 drones, but a lot of them don't have anywhere to mine from. They're transferring to the left of this map, but that hatchery only just started. Solar did not want to lose the expansion, and he is now way behind in this game. Gumiho starting his own 4th command center. He's also got 2 factories building siege tanks. Gumiho loves to double produce siege tanks. It's really good against Hydras and Lurker transitions, but it does limit his mobility. It's hard for him to push in with the flexibility that Widow Mines are able to. He overextends there, loses 8 Marines in a dropship. Solar re-expanding in front of this drop is a little bit cavalier. And there's a big pack of Marines on this side. Only enough space for most of the Marines. 9 of the Marines will not fit into those 3 medevacs, so definitely something where Gumiho's got to be a little cautious. He's going to bring some tanks down this side of the map. Oh, okay, so he's going to keep denying the right with this little squad, and he's going to push here as well. Oh, Solar's right there, though. You got to be careful. Okay, these Marines are there. The tanks are now not there at all. Okay, saves most of the Marines, gets them out. The Banshee's going down the left side. The Marine tank is now coming through the middle. Gumiho's army is kind of all over the place right now. I really want to see him group his units up. Solar might be able to jump on these. The problem for Solar is he's under so much pressure, and he doesn't have that much information. He doesn't realize that Gumiho is so fragmented right now. Gumiho's army is in these little chunks all around the map. But because Solar's stuck in his corner, not knowing what's going on, he simply can't deal with it. The Banshees fly in. They do end up flying away. 2-2 is now done for Gumiho. He's going to bring these chunks together and conglomerate in the middle. All the little droplets of Terran starting to run together. He's going to take the front base, and it looks like this is the push path. If he can get down here, then he's going to drive a wedge in between the 4th and the 3rd of Solar, and that could be devastating. Solar's got a hive on the way. 2-2. Hydras and Hydra upgrades, but they're not there yet. And the real question, though, is can Gumiho drive this home? Because if he can't, I don't know if he can contest Solar in the late game. Solar is known for making comebacks in the late game. He's a very, very good late game and end game player. And I don't think Gumiho has the speed necessarily to keep up with him. If this gets to like 6 base versus 6 base, I think Solar might actually become the stronger opponent. Right now, though, Gumiho has a lead, and he's not want to let that one slip away. He's clearing the creep. He's setting up this lovely tank spread. Oh man, he's even got a tank there reaching deep into the Zerg territory. The Banshees are now going to the bottom right side. These Banshees have gotten so much value. 20 kills between them. Siege tank on the front does go down, but there's another tank not far behind. Marines on the left ready to dive that left side base as well. Banshees are going to fly in. Looks like they might finally go down, but no, yet again, Gumiho keeps them alive. He's just keeping Solar busy and making it really difficult for Solar to respread his creep. Solar's getting closer and closer to maxing out. He's got 36 Banelings. I would have loved to see him try some more backstabs, but the Banshees, as well as the siege tanks everywhere, are just giving him too much trouble. He's not able to do it. Oh, great trades here for Gumiho. He's just baiting him into the tank fire. What can Solar do? If he gives up this base, he loses the heart of his economy. He's going to go for it. Solar going for the break. The Marines all balled up on the right side. They need to pull back to the high ground. There's a lot more tanks back there. Remember, the tank line goes so far back, and Gumiho gets an excellent engagement. He's up 4,000 resources in the units lost. He's going to continue forward. These tanks are going to continue marching on forth. The Marines here just dancing forwards and kicking as much ass as they possibly can. The Marines and the tanks and the medevacs coming on over. And here we go, Hydraling Bane doing what they can, trying to hang on, but I don't know what Solar can do. His Vipers need to be here yesterday, they're just not here. He has to go pre-Viper. He takes out a Siege Tank and a couple Marines, but it costs him so many Banelings, Hydras, and Zerglings. Marines coming on in, trying to take those Queens down. One of them goes down, Banelings getting shot down as well. And the Marines backing off here. Marine Tank continuing forward. Mass Command Center on the way. Oh. He's just pinned. I don't think you can do it. Lurkadens here and a couple of Vipers, but there's 8 Siege Tanks, 35 Marines. You've got a handful of Lings, Hydras, and Banes. And I think we are simply watching Solar get outnumbered and outgunned. I think this really comes down to those 2 Banshees, which eventually did die in this game. But they did such a good job of defending harassment and backstabs. And anytime Solar tried to split his army up on the map, the Banshees shut it down. So hats off to Gumiho for using those so well, reinforcing this position methodically, and basically just pinning Solar in an unwinnable position. I mean, Solar's just hanging in there and waiting for Gumiho to make mistakes. A player who tries to force their way on creep with mass bio, maybe? But against a guy who's this methodical with his siege tank spread, heck no. Gumiho gunning Solar down. The Hydra's getting blitzed. And that's going to have to be GG. He's finally got the wedge fully between the 3rd and the 4th. And with that position, I just don't think there's anything Solar can do. He's going to blinding cloud the siege tanks, and what's he going to do to capitalize? He's got 3 Hydralisks. They're going to lose to the 2 Marauders. Solar has to tap out. Gumiho with a very nice start to this best of 5. All right, guys, going into game 2 on Altitude, a nice big map for Solar. In the bottom left, representing Onside Gaming. In the top right, on Altitude, a giant map, one where he does like to play Battle Mech. It's Gumiho. You know who you don't play Battle Mech against? The man that always beats your mech. Gumiho is going to cheese. He's going for not only a proxy 2-Rex, but I spy a 3rd SCV moving out on the map. Ooh, absolutely disgusting, man. Disgusting. He is going to be going hard. So 3 barracks going to be coming in on this side of the map. Oh, wow. That's so far away. There's no way you scout that with the Overlord as well, right? This Overlord's just going over here. That Overlord's going straight across the map. Solar's going hatch gas pool. Pool doesn't go down till a minute 15.
Thanks for the Bezos bucks.
Ooh, this is where, you know, going for something like a 15 hatch, 15 pool actually keeps you safe against this build. But without that, Solar's going to need to pull drones. He's going to need to surround some Marines, get a spine crawler up or something like that, and basically stop the bunkers getting up 100%. Now, this Overlord, it looks like it will see the units coming in from that angle because he's keeping it out front of his base. Hopefully. Oh, if he goes too far out, if they come this way down the south, no, it's okay. He's going through the middle. Okay, guys, let's go to Solar's camera. Solar's about to see it on his mini-map. Now, he sees it, and he notices. Okay, he's immediately pulling drones. Let's check it out. Can he defend this? He's already pulled... Oh, he's pulled too many drones. That's way too many drones to pull at the start, but I guess he can start mining with some of them. He's building 2 queens, 4 zerglings. He's going to kill the bunker immediately, but you need more minerals in this scenario. I definitely think he's overpulled drones. The initial pull, you only want to pull about 6 drones. He's gone ahead and pulled 12, and he's not getting any more mining. Solar's losing so much mining right now. He's panicking a little bit. I think this is a very good position for Gumiho to be in. As long as he doesn't get surrounded by the drones, Solar gets the lings in, focuses the first SCV down. He's trying to build a spine crawler as well. He has a few drones mining in that main base. 20 drones are out, 12 of them on the front line. 15 now, ready to fight. Here we go. He's going to look for the wraparound, but the bunker's almost done. Solar, you got to focus the bunker down. He lets the bunker finish. Solar taking way too long to go in there. He does get us around in the bunker, but look at how many drones are getting focus fired. Gumiho focused down a whole bunch of workers before getting out of that bunker. He saves every single Marine. Solar here needed to have a more clean defense, but I just think he's very rarely proxy raxed on this map. This map's so big, a lot of players don't go for the proxy barracks on it because it just takes a while to walk your SCVs across, to rally the Marines in. There's a ramp on the natural. There's all these things working against the proxy barracks on this map. But because of that, it is a super effective surprise strategy. And that's why Solar is clearly thrown off in this game. He's going to go Ling Speed and Zergling production right now on 15 workers. The barracks lifts off and kills the Overlord there. Solar is supply block stuck right now. I'm stuck, Step Terran. Gumiho is going to be very happy to punish him for that. He's going to bring the barracks forward to try to spot the high ground. So if you put the spine on the edge, the Marines will be able to shoot it straight away. Gumiho is going to be kind of brutal here. He's going for command center and gas is behind it. More SCVs are building. The Marines are going to run up. No, they go up, they go back. Run up, they run back. Okay, here we go. Transfuse does go down. Very nice defense of Solar so far. He needs to pull the boys. He doesn't have Ling Speed or his Zergling count up yet. Oh my god, Gumiho just man modes it. He just headbutts. He knows he's got the numbers. The first fights were too good. Oh man, that's brutal. He just doesn't have the numbers. Solar's done. He's losing all of his overlords. He's going to have to tap out, and Gumiho, speed running this series, gets straight to a 2-0 lead. Down here in the bottom right side of the map, representing himself, the teamless Terran, he's up 2-0, and he's looking to make it to his, that semi-finals. This is Gumiho. Opponent in the top left, Solar. I believe this was the round of 8 match, actually. And now I'm doubting myself, and I'm like, oh god, I need to actually check that now. Because I'm like, I remember he had a few really interesting matches. Just double check that on my second monitor as we start this game, guys. And what's going to be really interesting here is how do you fight back as Solar? You got cheesed, you got surprised, and let's be honest, you kind of missed the execution. That's what happened there. It wasn't about anything else. It was literally just, you kind of screwed up on your execution. It's a bit of a bummer, but, you know, it is what it is. How do you defend from that? I think you play completely solid and standard, and you just watch out for things like the Hellion run-bys. It's almost always some sort of crazy momentum move in the early game. That's what Gumiho's specialty is, right? Gumiho's not a guy who's just going to beat you necessarily in a straight-up game, but he is the guy who's going to come through and just throw you off your game, come in with another layer of weird, then another layer of weird, and then another layer of weird after that. And that's all going to add up to make things very difficult for you as a player, right? That's why you've got to watch out for him. So definitely something where, and already we've got a reactor first opening, you know, rather unique opening from Gumiho here. I think you've just got to kind of lock things down, be more solid on your scouting, your defense, and you've got no room for error. So Solar's going to have to knuckle down and start that comeback train. It's absolutely possible because I really still think he's such a favorite against Gumiho. But the one thing hurting is that defense kind of sucked in that last game. Compared to what I've seen from Solar where he slaps that push down a fair amount, definitely something where he was caught off guard by it. So I'm hoping he can stabilize, get his kind of mindset back in the right place. and get us to a game 4 and game 5. 2 Marines building at a time right now for Gumiho. He's got that command center on the way. Nice quick second depot, as you do need if you're going for the reactor first, because you start pumping Marines so early, so quickly. No big changes for Solar. He's just going to go for the third base. And notice he knows that Gumiho likes to snipe Overlords, so he doesn't even send his Overlord in. He just leaves it on a pillar back here and says, yeah, I'll scout with a Zergling. That's all I need. Third hatchery goes down. Very quick Ling speed for Solar in this game. I do wonder if he's going to plan some aggression, maybe a bit of a Ling flood or something like that, or just running like 10 Zerglings in to try to kill some workers. That's not going to work against a reactor Marine opening, I don't think. Unless you go ham on the Zerglings, lure the Marines into the open and surround them, there's going to be plenty of units to defend. He sees 2 Marines. That already kind of gives away a little bit that there is potentially a reactive Marine play. And it looks like the Marines are going to go out on the map as well. Interesting. So the Marines are right now hunting for like Overlords or anything like that, seeing what else is out. And wait, is he going to do a bunker rush? Oh my god, he's bunkering the third base. You sneaky boy. So this is Solar's camera right now. Oh my god, Solar, apparently not a very experienced pervert. He was slightly off the pillar. But those Marines are coming forward right now. And he's actually going to try and sneak around. Remember, a building hatchery doesn't have a lot of vision right now. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Marines coming forth. There's only a few Zerglings out of the map. The Queens are going to try and damage those Marines. Now, this is obviously not a big commitment. He's just looking to, like, basically... Wait, if he... Actually, with Hellions backing it up, he might be able to kill the third base. Because if you try to surround the bunker, there's a repairing SCV, and you've got Hellions as well. The Hellions are just diving past. I don't think I agree with this choice at all. Gumiho's trying to dive his Hellions, and I guess he wants to confirm there's not, like, roaches or mutas or something crazy coming out. But he could have had Hellions behind the bunker or kind of microing with it. I guess the Queens would focus fire the Hellions down. That's why he doesn't want to do it that way. So fair enough now that I think about it. The Marines are going to take out whatever they can, just gunning down some Zerglings. They heavily damage the hatchery. Maybe that comes into play later, where the hatchery, of course, will take pretty much forever to regenerate. I think all Zerg units regenerate at the same rate. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's equal across all units. So for a Zergling, it's pretty damn significant how rapidly they regenerate. Whereas for an Ultralisk or a hatchery with 1500 hit points, it's kind of like meaningless. It's like, oh my god. Obviously, there are units with enhanced regeneration, the Mutalisk and the Burrowed Roach. Extra barracks is on the way here after the third command center. So we've seen a Raven. It's a Raven Hellion opening. That's kind of straight up macro here for Gumiho into a third command center. Now he's going second and third barracks, but Solar's scouting it. This is looking a lot more like a normal game. Like, yeah, you made Solar build some Zerglings, but I think Solar's rock solid on the defense now. He sees what's happening. His queen count is solid. He's got spores defending here in case the Ravens come in for harassment. Lair in a second, gas goes down. Expect the Baneling Nest to drop as he hits 50 gas here in a moment. And there we go. Oh, he's actually going to go Roaches. Oh, Solar's going to play Roach style. Okay, guys. Very, very cool mix-up. Something that could just kill Gumiho, especially if Gumiho chooses to play mech this time. So Solar, I don't know if he's expecting mech. No, he sold the barracks. He actually built the Roach Warren after seeing the barracks, so he's thinking, oh, I'm just going to kill you. Now, Gumiho is building a tech lab on the factory. He's not going Widow Mines. If he was going Widow Mines, there'd be a high chance of him just dying to the first big Roach shove. But as it is, it's not going to be the case. Going to get to 3 bases fully saturated as Solar just before the 6-minute mark. You can see here, all 6 gases mining. Double Evo chamber down at a good time. No 4th base for Solar, though. That doesn't really put that much fear into Gumiho. I feel like if he's already seen a 4th hatchery halfway done at this point, Gumiho is either going to be highly aggressive or very greedy, both of which are good things if you're playing Roaches. If you play mass Roaches, you want the Terran to either attack into you and overcommit to a fight, or you want him to basically be way too greedy to the point where you can run across the map and kill him with your Roaches. Middle ground is not where you want the Terran to be, because in a middle ground, basically the Terran just has enough units to survive. As long as they don't like run across the map and throw their army away, you're going to end up maxing out on Roaches, which are not very good units the longer the game goes. So the pressure is definitely there for Zerg to get something done. Overseer is on the way. We've got more and more Roaches pumping out right now. Hellion and the Raven on the right side of the map. They're going to try and rotate around. Got the Benevacs there on the left. I like the activity for Gumiho. He's just keeping Solar's vision in his corner. Nothing too special in the follow-up for Gumiho. There we go. Gets an Overlord on this side. He's going to grab a Roach as well. Does lose 2 Marines there. 2 Marines for a Roach, not the worst trade in the world. Definitely not the best, though. Zerglings in the main are going to stop the drop. Still just 5 racks pumping, right? There's nothing special here for Gumiho. He's just pumping units off 5 barracks, a factory, and a starport. He's not going for a greedy 4th. He's not building a second factory very early. It's a very standard play for Gumiho. Solar massing roaches off 67 workers. His 1-1 and roach feed are getting close. I think Solar wants to get across that map and kill him. And I think he wants to do it pretty soon. There's only 2 tanks out. I really feel this could be a very scary kill move. Biles on the Medivacs. But Gumiho's too quick. He saves those units. And the problem a lot of players have is if all their Marines are out dropping on the map, you don't have enough to protect your siege tanks. I don't think Gumiho should be moving out to his 3rd right now. He does see the attack coming, and this is very scary. He needs to pull his SCVs. He's got to pull his SCVs to defend this position. He's going to try and defend here in between his natural and 3rd, which is a pretty decent spot. Solar's all grouped up on one side. Solar, I think, should be coming from 2 sides. He's going to just go into the natural. Oh, that's a smart move. Anti-armor missile goes down. Gumiho stimming forward. Who needs combat shields, says Gumiho. I say, you do, mate. He doesn't have combat shields. Ling's flanking on the siege tanks. Oh my god, the Marines and Hellbats pulling back. The corrosive bile gets used to break the Marine formation, but that means the siege tanks are still firing from the rear. The anti-armor missile round 2 goes down. One of the siege tank falls, but oh my god, the anti-armor missile is insane. For those who don't know, anti-armor missile does take 2 armor off all those units, and it can go into the negative. So rather than being a 2 armor roach, it's a 0 armor roach. It's kind of like having, or another way of putting it is imagine these Marines already have +3 attack. That's crazy, right? It's a huge boost to their fighting power. And those roaches got slaughtered. That was meant to be a kill move for Solar. He's still got a few scary waves in this, but it feels like the anti-armor missile actually surprisingly powerful against those big roach shoves. Gumiho's going to go across with a triple drop and try to punish Solar. Solar droning, adding an infestation pit at a Baneling nest. He's going to try and limp his way into a macro Ling Bane transition. I don't know if that's going to work out, man. We have had some issues with in-game sound being a little bit loud today, guys. Just let me know if that's once again a bit too loud during the combat. Hopefully you can still hear me clearly. I may have to tweak that. But Hellbats, Marines, and tanks are moving around. Windows randomly changing volumes. You know how it is, guys. Gotta stop those Windows updates, I swear. Marine, Raven, Hellbat on the right. Is going to push through. Triple drop in the main at the same time. Here we go. Big drop in there. Ooh, okay. Marine drop in the main base right now. That Spore Crawler moving underneath, a pretty good move, but a lot of Zerglings have already gone down. This is a pretty good fight, I think, for Gumiho. At the same time, anti-armor missile on the Queens, not so much on the Roaches and the Ravages. Gumiho shoving in on both sides. He won the fight in the main? Are you kidding me? I don't think he'd won that fight. Solar just accidentally pulled back by using an F2. The Queens and the Roaches and the Ravages trying to hold on at the 3rd base. But Gumiho has the numbers. He's got 2-2 versus 1-1 right now. Because remember, Solar did not start 2-2 straight away. It was a hugely committed attack. Marines redropping from the main down into the 4th base. The army on the 3rd does get deflected for now. But with Marines killing the drones in the 4th, Gumiho is taking some incredible trades. He is at 2-to-1 cost efficiency. And he's rallying a new army down the right side at the same time. Marines dancing between the 3rd and the 4th base right now, trying to find as much distraction as possible. And he realizes there's an opening in the creep here. This is where Gumiho wants to keep pushing around this corner. On here is where he wants to siege his tanks. He doesn't really have that big of a macro follow-up, but he does have a 4th command center going out. His 3-3 upgrades have started up. It's still 2-2 versus 1-1 right now. Carapace level 2 is not quite finished. It's about to finish, but the fight's already going down. Biles do land. Front tank goes down, but the 3rd base is almost dead. Solar needs to defend, and he needs to do it right now. Gumiho has the numbers, though. He stutter steps forward. He stims for the 2nd time. The Marines pulling back from the Banelings. They wash up on the Marauders and the tank fire. Another siege tank falls, but there's still 3 left where that came from. And more rallying through the middle of the map. Solar taps out with a GG. Congrats. And Gumiho shocking everyone by winning this semifinals 3-0. And making it to his first grand finals in about 5 years. GG, well played.